First and foremost, I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, double honor to the elders, great millstone, and salutation to all your sincere Akim on the house and by teaching his work sincerely and faithfully. It's gonna be I'm gonna title the video "Uprising of the People." Right? There's a lot of people bucking up against this, so-called New World Order, and they're not having it, right? Just a minute ago, the Georgia Guidestones exploded. They actually said they found the guy who did. They're pressing charges against the guy who did it because I seen a full clip of it. But yeah, everybody's rising up. The Dutch, they burned down a factory, right, making synthetic beef. Salaki, making synthetic meats owned by Bill Gates, right? They burnt now, and not only that, but now you got people in Canada, people in China, Armenia, Macedonia, which is Greece, like all these different places, right? Getting tired of the elites. People are protesting, burning things down, fighting. I'm gonna get this video. Yeah. So, show something.
In China, police clashing with demonstrators on Sunday. Demonstrators who were angry that some rural banks have kept millions of dollars frozen since April. At the time, the banks said they were upgrading their internal systems, but customers say they've heard nothing from the banks about the matter since then. The protest was among the largest in China since the pandemic. For more on this, I'm joined by CNN's Stephen Zhang in Beijing. Extraordinary scenes. What's behind it? What's being done about it?
Michael, indeed such an extraordinary scene to see more than 1,000 people show up on Sunday morning to stage this rare protest in front of the provincial branch of the country's central bank demanding their money back. But that's also why the provincial authorities went to such great lengths, as you mentioned, even tampering with these people's health QR codes, which is such a basic necessity for anyone in China to leave their homes these days. But that effort really failed after a nationwide backlash, which is why this protest eventually took place, with demonstrators really training their fire at the local authorities, hurling the Chinese national flags and chanting slogans, with some banners accusing the local police of using violence against them and even calling for human rights and the rule of law. But their peaceful tactics really didn't make their protest last that long. After a few hours of standoff, you could see hundreds of local security personnel, many plainclothes agents charging towards this crowd, forcibly removing everyone, including the elderly.
Look at that. So it doesn't matter if you're peaceful or not. You got Moab kicking him in the butt, kicking him in the leg. They put him in the chokehold, dragging him. So those peaceful protests, they ain't working. So now what's next? People are gonna start fighting. Like 2nd Ezra chapter 15 verse 15. With sword, people fight against another with swords in their hands. And not only swords, right. But nowadays the present sword is a gun. We're gonna take guns, machetes, knives, and swords and run out. I'm telling you, man, bats, right? Barbed wire bats. You ever watch WWE? Why, with the nails in it, metal bats, wooden bats, clubs. People are gonna I don't know, broomsticks, but this is coming. People are gonna really, crowbars, all sorts of weapons they can get their hand. They're gonna start attacking the authority. That's gonna lead to martial law, and they're gonna fight against martial law, right? They're gonna get mowed down. It's coming. Right? People are getting tired of the government.
Children, anyone who resisted got kicked and punched, as some sustaining injuries.
Look at that. I bet he did nothing. I bet he was just in a peaceful protest, right? And guess what happened to him? They jumped him. We're not with that peacefulness that you're getting dropped. All right, move along. They threw down with a man who didn't even do. So that's coming. It doesn't matter if you're going against the government. This was gonna cause for us to be persecuted. Because even though we're just speaking words, they still takes down our videos. So how much more then in that day, right? when stuff like this is gonna be happening, you know.
And got sent to local hospitals, according to some protesters, and most people got taken to a nearby makeshift detention
Look at that, look at him. They kicked him right in the back.
centers.
He kicked him so hard. Now he's walking slowly to him, like, yeah, like.
But these protesters' actions really have garnered a lot of sympathy and support from around the country because
Look at Moab fighting against Moab. You know, the curse that fell upon our people was falling upon them. You know, look at them. They're fighting like animals, thugs. Look at them thugs, them hoodlums. You know.
people feel they can relate to their situation, as these people were mostly low-income people who put their life savings into these banks because of their faith in the country.
See, that's the problem. Don't ever save your money in a bank, right? If you have a savings account, right, don't use a savings account. Get yourself a vault, right? Get yourself a safe. It's better to have a safe to have the money on you than rather have it in the digital. Because Esau, especially Esau, man. This is Moab, but Esau, he's a grimy guy. Oh, you should know that, you know. I shouldn't even have to explain on how he's grimy. You know, just look at history. Boom. You know, I'm not going to get into it, but, you know, you can't trust him.
Country's banking system, but then they, of course, lost.
Not only that, but if you have all your money in a bank, plus another person, like let's say 1 million people had a bank branch, let's say Citizens Bank. If all the people who like let's say if all the people who signed up for Citizens Bank try to all get their money at once, they're not getting their money because a bank only has a limited amount of money that they could honestly have, so they don't have all the money, you know, in the bank.
Almost everything, and
most of it is just numbers in a computer.
Their plight is especially being shared because the economy here is being battered by the country's continued zero COVID policies, with a wide range of industries really under growing distress. And this, of course, is also happening in a very sensitive year politically, as Chinese Supreme Leader Xi Jinping is expected to assume a precedent-breaking third term later this year, and his whole legitimacy reputation very much built on this idea of the rejuvenation of the Chinese nation. So this kind of incident's huge embarrassment for him, for sure.
Look at him. Look how they doing him. Look how they doing Jet Li. You know? Getting slammed to the floor just for a peaceful protest. You just say, hey, man, just give me my money. They say, nah, bro. I don't know what you're doing here. Throw him down, beating the crap out of him. Like, look at this.
But that's why we've seen the local authorities there take such extreme actions to suppress.
But this is coming. You know, people are going to, you know, like I was saying, they're going to be freezing banks real soon, you know. So whatever you got in the bank, take it out now. Take it out now, you know. You know, I would say you should buy a safe or a vault or whatever and stash it somewhere in your house or your apartment, because you're not going to be able to get your money out. Once you try to get your money out all at once, it's not going to... They're going to freeze everything. You're not going to be able to get your money, right? And once your accounts are frozen, well, what are you going to do? Right? You can't buy this, can't do this. You're not going to be able to eat.
This peaceful protest because they're so worried about a tinderbox situation. They simply do not want to see any sparks that could ignite more anger and frustration, not only in their province, but across China. Michael?
So, like, I guess peaceful protest is out the window. So, like, a lot of banks are going to be, not only in China, right? Not only in China, especially America, man. People in America are not civilized. Jake is wild. Esau is getting, you know, he's losing power. He's getting pissed. Jake's already wild. So people are right on edge already since this COVID thing happened. I want to get 2 Ezra chapter 15, verse 15. And actually 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, you know, death and destruction to the world, and you know, for the sword and their destruction draws nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. So ain't that what's happening? Like I just named Armenia, the Netherlands, Greece, China, Canada. You got a lot of these protests sparking, you know, what's that? What's Sri Lanka? Sri Lanka. They're also, Sri Lanka is also, they had a swimming pool, you know, 5 different countries. You know, like these people are getting, the world's getting fed up. The elite are going to have a problem, which is going to lead to them having to kill half the population. Well, he wanted to do that anyways. I guess this is a good reason to. Now he has a reason, you know. For there shall be sedition among men, invading one another. You know, they shall not regard their king nor princes. In the course of their action shall stand in their power. Shocking. So when they can't access their bank accounts, when it's nightfall, they guess they're gonna go home after the protest. They're gonna be thinking about what are they gonna eat, right? What are they gonna do? They're gonna go to Quan Chi's house down the street, Shao Kahn, the other 8 Mobites, right? And they're gonna have to fight. They're gonna fight him. They're gonna fight him, right, for that food. They're gonna fight them. They're gonna fight him for them ramen noodles. They're gonna be fighting other Ammonites and Mobites. They're gonna be fighting, because what can you do? You're counter frozen. Damn, you already lost at that, but now you're home. Your kids are hungry, right? You're looking at the other Mobite, right? You see he had noodles in his house. He's stocking up on the jasmine rice. Now you eyeballing him because you got that chicken teriyaki. Now you smell that. Now your kids are hungry. You're gonna have to run. They're gonna run down on him, right? They're gonna kick down doors, and they're gonna get the orange chicken, the sesame seed chicken. That's bok choy, right? These they ain't gonna let their kids starve. You know, they ain't gonna let little Bruce Lee starve. These mobiles are gonna be fighting each other, right? And not only that, but the curse that fell upon our people, killing each other. No, not only the southern tribe, but the northern tribe did the same thing also. How we had that. We always fought each other. The so-called Native Americans also tribal wars, right? They have tribal wars and fighting amongst themselves. Even though they were the same people, right? Not only that, but the El Salvadorians and the Mexicans in California. I actually found out recently that MS-13 was actually formed by El Salvadorians to protect themselves from the Mexicans because they were bullying them, I guess. Because they weren't born in California. That evil eye towards your brother. So it's not only with the tribe of Judah, but it's with all the tribes. We had that, right? Not only that, they still have that with gang wars happens throughout the United States. No matter so like there's a lot of Jake who are who have that evil eye. Now guess what? Moab is gonna have the evil eye towards his brother, right? And fight against another, and swords in their hand, for there shall be sedition among men, invading one another. They shall not regard their king nor princes, right? Is anybody listening to the president or the prime minister in Sri Lanka? No, right? They're in his pool, they're in his backyard, they're in his mansion. He's trying to evacuate. I heard that even the pilot didn't want to take him, so now he's stranded at the airport. So these people are gonna get beat up, man. In course of their action shall stand. A man shall desire to go into a city and it shall not be able. So that's gonna talk about martial law, right? Because see all this havoc. Esau's gonna have to call not only the elites are gonna call upon global martial law, probably, right? There's see the video still playing. All right, there's gonna be a global martial law, and people are not gonna be able to go into cities, right? And guess what's gonna happen? People are not gonna listen to the curfew, and guess what? They're gonna go out there looking for food, and they're gonna get lasered, and get shot down, blown away, like a leaf blower, right? Like a vacuum cleaner, but you get the point, right? People are really gonna try to fight against the martial law. Your kids are hungry. There's no food, right? People are gonna stand up to the government, and they're gonna get dropped. How do you fight a Jeep with a 50 caliber on it, 50 cal on the back of it, a bazooka. This is some minor. I can talk about the jets and tanks, but you know what the artillery Esau had. But Esau is not gonna need that because he's gonna have robot dogs with guns on them, right? Got robots with guns. That's what Esau is coming up with. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the house shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So men are gonna be afraid. People are gonna be really worried. Like, yo, is my house next? Man, I just seen someone down the street. Dalton, Jerome, or Carlos got his house ransacked in my neighborhood. In my house next, there's no power, and so like this is very It's just coming, right? A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, right? No one's gonna say, "Damn, man, please, Quan Chi, have mercy. I knew you for 60 amount of years, or whatever." No, my children need to eat. You know how Moab has that accent. My children are hungry. Whatever the hell. So like those people who got their banks frozen, they're gonna be fighting each other. They're gonna be looking at each other like, "Yo, man, my bank is frozen. I got nothing to eat. So what you got in there?" They're gonna say, "No, I don't have enough for you. So get the hell out of my." They're gonna be fighting. Nah, they're gonna appear in his backyard. I was just watching a documentary on a British blackouts, a blackout that happened in 2014 to Britain. This guy kept going in their backyard. He kept looking around, right, until he invaded their house later that night. So like you're gonna have visitors in your backyard looking for stuff, kind of like a raccoon. You ever seen those videos of a black bear digging through the trash looking for food, right? It's just like, "Oh, what's going on?" Roaming the cities. Let them be some of these people. They're gonna be roaming like, "Yo, what you got? You got something." They're gonna be like Debo. You know. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So the house is gonna be destroyed. People gonna be ransacking, going through your stuff. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with a sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So great tribulation is coming. There's gonna be a lack of bread. Yo, every time I'm telling you, the newsbreaker I have, right? Every single time I look up, I have it vibrate. It's always about global food shortage. I'm telling you, global food shortage, planetary food shortage. There's a food shortage. Food. Esau is throwing it in your face, bro. The Lord is. He's throwing it in our faces. I keep seeing it. You got to be ready. Esau put in a new movie. He put the food shortage in a new movie called Jurassic World. Something. The new Jurassic. I don't know the name of it, but the new Jurassic World that came out. And he's talking about how the locusts were eating up all the food, and there was a global food shortage that's coming. So like, thrown in your face, the prophet on high by the Lord is warning you through different sources, different people. The Lord is warning you from the left hand and from the right. So Esau's warning you, and the prophets are warning you. If you can't get it by now, then you were The Lord says, told the angel, close his ears. There's a spirit walking behind somebody right now with their hand. The spirit has its hands over this man's ear. I'm telling you, this is spiritual death. You're spiritually deaf. There's a spirit right behind, closing somebody's ears. Huh? What? I can't hit. I gotta go part. It's like Jake is, there's gonna be lack of bread. People are not taking it serious, but it doesn't matter because the Lord is gonna. All right, you want to be hard headed? Fine, you be hard headed. Let me get in this article. This is talking about just destroyed Dutch building wasn't factory owned by Bill Gates. Claim a Bill Gates factory that produces lab-grown synthetic meat burned down in the Netherlands. So like, Esau is trying to fact check it. Fact checks is basically telling you that, hey, this never happened. This is a lie, fact, false. And so like, look that. So Bill Gates factory that produces lab-grown synthetic meat burns down in the Netherlands. Read caption on one video of the blaze that was posted to Facebook and viewed more than 12,000 times. A similar false claim was repeated on Twitter, where one user shared a video of another angle of the fire writing. Bill Gates' factory that makes synthetic lab-grown meat goes up in flames. The post received more than 7,000 shares and nearly 20,000 likes by Tuesday. But Chilaki. But both posts mischaracterized Bill's relationship to the company and misidentified what the bill was. Man. A facility that burned out right was a distribution center operator at Picnic, a Dutch online grocery store founded in 2015 that allowed users to order using a mobile. Yeah, Bill Gates owns that, man. Shut up. No, they're just trying to lie. So what happened was, I'm gonna tell you, Esau wants to confuse people. So the people in the Netherlands burned down a factory. Bill Gates factory that produces lab-grown fake meat burned down in the Netherlands. So there's a meat factory that sells fake meat has just burned down the Netherlands, right, by the people, because people are tired of Esau, bro. Esau's tired of Esau, right? There's gonna be people rising up against this. like I said, when martial law comes, people are gonna rebel against that. It's still gonna be protest. All right, you're still on curfew. All right, I'm gonna shoot. They're gonna kill them. These people are gonna get killed. A lot of the people protesting, they're not gonna listen to the damn curfew, right? No, but this is telling you that Esau's rulership is at his end. Right? All these years, you had no one rebelling, everybody staying, because you're at your end. Right? The Lord is coming back. He's going to put you in a chokehold, and you can't do nothing about it, you know? Right when you're about to fulfill your enterprise, look what's going on, right? You could just think about it. Esau's right when he's about to fulfill everything, right? Now there's uprisings. And that God, he's a carnal man. He's like, what the hell? Why is this happening now? Why now? Why not before? The Lord was playing with Esau like a cat plays with a mouse, right? Because like the Lord let Esau get away with a lot. Now Esau's like, yes, this is the final piece to the puzzle. This is right when I'm about to land, right when I'm about to finish. Nope, now it's uprising. People are not Chilaki. Now, right now, people are rising up. Right when Esau's about to put his new world order in play. What does the scripture say? Well, actually, I'm gonna save that. Security forces in China attacking protesters seeking frozen funds. So like people, I'm telling you, man, get your money out the banks. You can always have you could bury a hole in your backyard and put your money there. You can put it in a wall. Like put it in a safe, a vault. Don't use the put in a crate. I don't know. Because when your account's frozen, you're not gonna be able to access your money. So be wise in the times we're in. This happened. I just read the video I just played was actually 2 days ago. So it was July 11th. This was a couple of days ago, man. I'm not gonna get into it because I just played a video. So like, I'm gonna read a little bit of it. Why? Hong Kong, a financial scandal in central China has touched depositors across the country, some of whom placed their life savings in that's stupid, I would never place my life savings in a bank. And 4 rural banks offering high rates of return then found their funds frozen. Frozen as investigators examine allegations of widespread fraud. When the bank customers began showing up to demand their money, the authorities in the city of Zhang, tried to use the health code apps meant to prevent the spread of COVID-19 to prevent them from traveling. The city retreated after a black backlash and several officials were punished, but the depositors kept coming with as many as 1,000 gathering on Sunday. This time the authorities sent in guards in masses to break up the demonstration. They beat the protesters, kicking them to the ground and shoving them onto buses. The harshest response yet to the bank's positive effort to seek redress. So like they're getting beat up for wanting their money. How are you gonna beat somebody? I know you want your, but I'm gonna have to whoop your ass for that. Imagine that, like they're gonna fight me because I want something that's mine. That's some type of Edomite thing going on right there. But so like look at them. They froze their money stuck in account. Now look at that. Now they're shoved onto buses. Well, I wonder where they're going to that camp. They're gonna put them in that camp. Put them right in that camp, concentration camp.